Welcome back, folks. We are getting ready for the earnings report. We just had a big old tape bomb on, not big, but a little tape bomb on SPY there, dropping just under $1 there into the close. We're going to keep an eye on that. We were watching Amkor in the top right, ON in the top left, or bottom right, ON already pushing here. We're going to have some reports soon. I'm going to get those for you coming up here in just a sec. And Josh should be joining us as well. So coming on in, SPY still pushing down. We're going to watch that swing low. Bear with me just one moment while I pull these earnings up. Howdy, Talk. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So we have Amkor reporting any second, it says, right after the close. We will have MedPace Holdings 15 minutes after. I'm not seeing a time for ON, so I'll keep an eye on those. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. And we also have Semiconductors, SMH, in the bottom left here, just to keep an eye on that. All right, so we are seeing strong pushing up on ON already. A little bit of shake and bake, but nothing too crazy. Amkor as well, pretty widespread, doing nothing too outlandish yet, but keeping an eye on here because these could move pretty darn fast. ON looking to me like a rocket ship in the making, but hey, sometimes those can be the hardest to fall. All right, ON looks like earnings might have came. Nope. Yeah, there they are. All right, earnings just came out on ON. We'll get those numbers for you in just a second here. Strong push up out of the gate for now. Amkor starting to wiggle as well. Earnings might be out there as well, or at least anticipation from the ON release. Let me get into my Twitter here so I can get you these numbers. Sorry, folks. Okay, first move up, second move back down. We have a widespread here. Decision time on ON. Let's find those numbers. Okay. One second here. Big push down. Yeah, widespread on this guy here. So let's see. Are they out? Am I going crazy looking at a 1 minute candle? Not seeing anything yet. Okay, so while we wait here, a few things to talk about. Looks like, so yeah, semiconductors and obviously part of that power chip sector. They're guiding for about 10 to 12% growth here in 2027. Still not seeing it. Hey. We got somebody in chat.
Hey, it's me.
How you doing, brother?
Good, bro. How about you?
Doing good. Just watching Amkor here as well as ON. Getting some push up on Amkor as well. Let me see if they popped their results yet. So I think these are the two biggest ones I'm watching today. Anything else on your radar, Josh?
No, just after hours here, of course, small caps. We haven't had a lot of big movements in after hours from small caps, but yeah, for earnings, yeah, today is more of a little bit of a lackluster, afternoon. But you're gonna have that. You're gonna have your big dog days, and you're gonna have your little dog days.
Right, absolutely. Bear with me one moment. I'm getting some alerts going off in my broker too, so trying to manage a few things at once here. Meanwhile, still waiting on these earnings. Seeing the shake and bake, I feel like these things want to go. We're just kind of waiting on the starting flag here. So yeah. 1 minute, we should be getting earnings results here. Let me grab what I need here.
You're not in any, when you said alerts, you're not actually taking physical trades right now. Things are going off. Is that what you're just saying as far as like the earnings and what the earnings are?
Oh no, this is a physical trade.
Okay. I was wondering. That's what it sounded like.
It's just long-term runners that I should manage them. So I'm gonna get those out of the way real quick here as we watch, because now I got to get on the ball here. We have earnings any second. Amkor did push down initially, starting to stabilize, still holding the morning range. ON doing just about the exact same thing here. gonna take a look because I want to catch these announcements the second they release. Man, these just both look like powder kegs to me. Okay, I think. Okay, yeah, we just got Amkor here. So net sales 1.89 billion, estimated 1.84 billion, a small beat on sales. They see first quarter net sales 1.6 billion to 1.7 billion. Estimate was 1.53 billion. All right. So no explosive reaction here. I think the guide is going to be pretty important when you have a relatively modest beat like that. Let's see. So let's see. Q4, 16% year over year revenue beat. And let's see. What else do we got? EBITDA 1.16 billion. We have free cash flow at 308 million. And guidance, yeah, for revenue, like I said, 1.6 to 1.7 billion. So we will see if the market rewards them. I do love this name, like we've been talking about on the higher time frame. It just looks like a beauty to me. So I'm bullish on these. I think they guide the semiconductors onwards and upwards. How you feeling on the sector?
Which one are we talking about now? I didn't hear it.
Sorry, semiconductors here.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I think that's gonna be the thing. Well, I say it's kind of like that, and AI has just been the trend over the last 2 years. It seems like big time.
Right. Everybody's always trying to call the tops on these moves. It feels like when it's like it's so much easier to just strap in, you know. Like you might be a little bit of volatility, but if you just look at that as buying opportunities, you can really get some nice positions there.
Yeah, I think people see the SMCIs of the world, or even like sometimes Bitcoin and MSTRs of the world, or is in my point stuff. The stuff that it's just got to be the top. This is overvalued. This shouldn't be here. And I'm like, well, it's always going to be a case of it can continue to go up. So I'm right there with you as far as don't get in front of a moving bus or a train and just ride the trend. You can find the reversal, and when it starts happening, you can trade that to the downside. But yeah, it's definitely a hot sector, I would say, over the last 2 years. It seems like I haven't traded too many semiconductor plays. It seems like since I would say 23 and 24 were my more semiconductor trading years. Really, it seemed like I was hitting those up a lot more so. But yeah, it's a sector that, in my opinion, it's not going away anytime soon.
I'm with you. And it seems like we're breaking out of that real cyclicality. I'm sure there's still aspects of cyclicality at play here, but it just doesn't seem like it's the same narrative of, oh, it's time to sell. They're high at the range. It's like we're breaking ranges. We're pushing on higher. And, that's a great sign for technology as a whole, because here's how I'm kind of looking at it, Josh. So money is coming out of software as a service en masse. And yes, I do think that we may have seen capitulation. We may get some mean reversion here. But in general, the trend is a lot of these companies don't have moats like they did a year or two ago. I'm going to take a look see if anything came out for ON, because I saw this candle jump just a little bit. But yeah, so if the software components, which did make up quite a big part of the Qs, and if they can't recover and if they get washed out, where's this money in tech going to go? And it seems to me like the trend is going to keep on solidifying over the next couple of years, if not longer, of this dominance of hardware over software, of this semiconductor just dominance. So I think this is a great way to express the risk on growth trade and not get stuck in the names like the Snowflake and the Upstart and these, kind of, they end up being memes in terms of valuation. When these guys, they've got real demand. Their order books are full, So definitely a good sector to keep an eye on. Like I said, I like AEHR as well a ton.
Oh yeah. I've seen that play even pop up a few times myself, even like day trading it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it gets massive daily moves. You can get some real nice movers on that. I'll pull that chart up in just a sec as well. And let's see. So apparently there's some decent bear flow on ON. We will see if the bears get paid or if the bears get skinned. And so far, not much of a reaction to those Amkor numbers. Kind of surprised. It's not a huge mover after hours usually, but still kind of surprising there. So we'll have to see if maybe we just need cash session or probably earnings report to really see if we get rewarded here. SPY, by the way, is trying to curl on up. We'll take a peek at that, see if it is curling out, carving out a bottom here, or if it needs to flush out a little more overnight and into tomorrow. What else is on the radar here for earnings? It's slim pickings today.
Yeah. AMKR is one, looking at that one. It's definitely one you kind of looked at it. BDX is one that I've looked at in the past. ACGL is another one that I've seen, and looked at a few times, like you talked about with ON. And AEHR, it's funny you bring that up, because that's why it rings a bell. And I thought it was like, this used to be a penny stock. And sure enough, I remember trading this when I first started trading like 2017, and there was literally a rip in 2017, like a 3-day rip where it goes from 225 up to about 540. It's about 100% move over 3 days. And that would be like, yep, that was probably when it was on my radar. Like, I always go back and go, yeah, I remember this ticker. I'm like, oh, there's a stretch of where I bet it was hitting the gainer board.
Yeah.
And then when it took off from, what was it, 2021? Of course, I wondered when that space kind of started hitting off. And point being, we go from $3 in July. By November 1st, we're at 27. So yeah, there's another time when it was probably on my radar, AEHR. So as soon as you brought that up, I was like, I want to go back because I know I've seen this play in the past before, and I just went back and look at the weekly 10-year chart, and I was there she is there. I knew I saw this before, a true penny stock, and it was.
Yeah, no, it's a wild one. And if you look, this is just like the meanest in terms of like long-term price action, where it's like, all right, if you're a long-term holder, you believe in the narrative, and you know the narrative is just as good after this washout here,
Right.
and your stock's down 50%, you know it's still just as good. And you say, my stock's down 50%. I love the stock. I love the narrative. I'm buying more. Then it drops another 50% on you. You go, man, all right. Well, luckily I didn't size too crazy. I've got to buy more. If you don't have stops, which, to each their own, I understand why narrative investors look at volatility as opportunity if they're not planning on selling till the play is out. But man, this will shake anybody's confidence. Then it drops again, another 30, 40%, and then pumps 100%. You're like, all right, bottom's finally in. It held the low. Then it flushes you out again and sweeps the all-time lows there. It's like, what do you do? It's like it's designed to crush you here,
Yeah.
Just staying out of the way of liquidity of the movement.
There's a perfect bounce though, where it came right down to. I mean, it came right down to where it bounced in 2022, right on the dot essentially, and rips right back on up. So that's why I love just putting your lines in, trading them, finding the support. And that wedge that we're in right now, currently, that wedge on the EHR on that's looking pretty tight. It's definitely looking like it's going to squeeze and possibly go up for more soon. Now it could crack for sure, but yeah, I like that daily there over the last few weeks heading into 2026 from 2025. There it was got a tight wedge going on, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All about the tight wedge. Speaking of which, this Amkor starting to heat up. I think it might be ready to start going here. We'll see.
I was gonna say, how about a ticker real quickly that ran today before I forget, because I want to get off of it because it's not doing anything in after hours. PLBY. Pull that up and see what ticker that is.
PLBY. Oh, I know what that ticker that is.
Yeah, I'm like, it just was on the top gainer board today. It got actually really good news. It had good news this morning. Playboy agrees to a $122 million deal with United Trademark Group to accelerate growth of its anyway. So I was like, that's a pretty big number. That's not super. You'll see the 5 to 10 mil not do much, but 100 mil, that's pretty good and guaranteed payment. So
yeah, considering I can't imagine the free cash flows that high if they're trading at about
50. Yeah,
that's a nice injection there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in the scanner, you got to play, boy. It's
exactly. You got to play it, boy.
So, all right, what do you think? I guess I got to pull it back further, because what the heck do you do with a chart like this? It looks great on the daily and weekly until you zoom out to the monthly, and it's just scary, spooky. But
yeah,
I love these charts. These are some of my favorites to keep on my watch list, because what I'm really seeing here is a massive volume spike here and basically setting the bottom. So what I love doing is drawing out, especially on the meat of the candle, so the body there. Love drawing this out, but wow, so strong. Yeah, I guess it dipped back into it once. But in general, just this high volume that pushed us up, once it retransacted and pushed up higher, it's never really looked back. You also have this nice little breakout, retest, and now trying to push up higher. So I think that we're probably due to retest this upper area here, this upper zone, and make a new higher high at 250. I think that'd be a really good target for a swing to take a partial off with potential for silliness.
For the standard deviation channel actually banned, the top portion of it is at like right there at that 250-ish or so mark. So like, yeah, that definitely can see that happening for sure.
Okay. Nice. Are you a big standard deviation channel guy?
I wouldn't say big. I use it, like when I'm looking at, I want to like zoom out, especially for the large cap tickers. Small caps still help me from time to time too, like this, to see like when we have these multi-day runners or whatever it might be and where they can run to. So yeah, they help me more on the long-term things when it comes to small caps. Of course, for large caps, it really even helps me on like the scope of the day sometimes when you have those mega dumpy days. Yeah, I like it. I use it, and I have it on one of my charts. It's one of those things where I'll have certain studies or indicators on certain charts, not every single chart.
ON just came out and they just got schmacked. All right, so that bear flow seemed to be playing out. Let me find some numbers for you. That's definitely earnings there.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, so zooming in, or Still not seeing anything on my feed. Okay, just getting it in here. So they beat on earnings per share by 3%, expected 0.62. They got 0.64 revenue. They missed by 1%, 1.54 billion. Numbers 1.53 billion. I'm wondering if this will be an opportunity to buy some more. I'm going to zoom this in full screen real quick. We're going to zoom out to an hourly. I want to see the high time frame that we're transacting off of. We are still holding the range, guys. And remember, I said 60 was my buy level. We didn't quite get down there. I do have a resting order at 60.
I think she's about to hit 60. Here we go. Oh, she's so close. I was like, those numbers were getting very close right there.
I'm sure I did not get filled. We'll see if it pushes down just a little bit more. Looks like it will.
All right. You got to will it. Sometimes you just have to start doing like, like you start doing like X-Men, like you're an X-Men, like you're Magneto. You just start doing one of these numbers and you just kind of start, you can do it. Oh, it's and you gotta love when it teases with you. 6. There you go. There we got whipped down into it. Yeah, I really
right. Okay, so now we'll see if I regret this long term, but this is a long term position. I want more exposure in semiconductors that haven't run a ton yet that I think have a lot of potential here. I like the high time frame chart. This is basically what I did when I was finding the AMKR and the Teradyne too, like in September. So it's sometimes when it's least appealing is when it's time to buy. So I'm going to keep combing through these earnings, see if I see anything too worrying. But in general, I think that there's a lot of potential for this to just mean revert up back from the 60 handle here. So my cost basis is now 63.50-ish because I did take a starter before earnings. I'm not really worried because, like I said, long-term position for me. I just want more semi exposure.
Right.
I'm a dog, I just want more and more and more.
And I've got 14 dogs. I know all about it, buddy.
Got that dog in you. All right. So let me see what else I can find here. Okay, so fourth quarter revenue of 1,530 million. Fourth quarter GAAP gross margin and non-GAAP gross margin of 36% and 38.2% respectively. Fourth quarter GAAP operating margin, non-GAAP operating margin 13.1 and 19.8% respectively there. So let's see. This is a quote. We remain disciplined in our execution and met expectations in the fourth quarter as we saw increasing signs of stabilization in our key markets, said Hassan El-Khoury, sorry for the pronunciation, president and CEO of onsemi. We continue to invest in intelligent power and sensing technologies that position us to win in the most critical technology transitions shaping our industry. Our strategy is clear. Lead in automotive, industrial, and AI data center power with innovation that delivers higher value solutions for our customers and long-term returns for shareholders. So just sign of strength, saying that things are going according to plan. We don't care if you punish us for missing by 1%. We're sticking to our guns, I believe, is the general gist here. We'll see what clarity we get on the earnings call. But what else did we get? Here's another quote. In 2025, we generated 1.4 billion of free cash flow and returned 100% of our annual free cash flow to shareholders through our share repurchases. With our major investment cycle behind us and new technologies ramping, we continue to strengthen our financial foundation. As we continue to drive meaningful improvements to our cost structure across the company, we are creating greater leverage in our operating model going forward, said Thad Trent, EVP and CFO of onsemi. Our focus remains on operational excellence and margin expansion, and we are well positioned to benefit as the market conditions improve. So we are seeing a decent haircut here for nothing too concerning in my book. So we will see if this 60 can provide some solid buying. But yeah, it seems like a decent punishment. So we had an implied move of 10%. How far down are we? Close. So this is my buy zone. I should have been disciplined and just waited for a cheap entry.
On
Amkor very strong though here.
Yeah.
So hopefully earnings call will break this one out. What else was on the list? MedP. I don't know what they do. MedPace Holdings, probably some medical technology.
A lot of financial corporations today. A lot of those today. I see CNA, PFG, CINS. There's a lot of that today. ACGL is pretty much in that same category. It's just kind of today, and actually a bigger move than I thought, honestly, from on there. And AMKR's got some pretty big red to green move, status going on. So a little bit bigger moves than I anticipated. Yeah, and on looking at the chart, I don't see how this would get lower than 58, 57, 50. There's a lot of support, old resistance in that area. I call them sandwiches. So all through November, we were failing a little bit lower than that. But then we go through January into February, and all we're doing is bouncing on 58 to 57.50. So super
Yep.
sweet support area corridor right there. My sandwiches.
Yeah, I think the next level for me is if we need it, this would be my last ad down here in this imbalance when we retest this previous breakout. This would be 57 here. So
Yeah.
that'd be the last ad. I guess I do see one more spot to add, and I don't like this in my setup when there's one extra spot where I could see it going down to where I'd be sweating if it does reach down there. But long-term position, I think as long as I really do want to see it hold this low, to be completely honest. So maybe the play is to take the stop out if it does close anything under 57.50 and just wait for a reclaim and sign of strength in this zone or this zone. So that might be the end result of how I'm playing. So I thought this was a megaphone ready to break out. Looks like we are.
A megaphone. I have not heard that term in a while. My dad used to have one. He was a morning show host, but he, for whatever reason, was like kind of gifted one of those. And so, like those, like he'd be out like live at an event somewhere, like, hey, you could join me live at whatever restaurant. He was doing kind of. It was a live of, he had one of those, man. And the megaphone. Haven't heard that in a long time. My mom and dad will be proud to hear you saying that.
That's so funny. I'm so trader brained. I don't think I've ever actually seen held an actual megaphone. I'm just you say megaphone. I think
they're old. Yeah, they're old school. Yeah, we had one. We had it at the house, and I'd play with it. I loved it. Yeah, of course, as a kid, it's kind of one of those things. Like, of course, I always go to Step Brothers and like you've got night vision goggles. Like things you would love as a kid. Like some of my friends, you got a megaphone. I'm like, well, it's my dad's, and so we played with it.
Yeah, and just like Step Brothers, I'm sure your mom loved.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
that's the equivalent of a drum kit, right? That's a drum kit on steroids.
Yeah, right.
It's like you're not even learning an instrument; you're just making as much noise
as loud as you can.
So we are still seeing these bottoming wicks. I'm not seeing like a super conviction buy here. I think it's passive buyers. I think probably this gets undercut and then it gets absorbed in the next day or so. Hopefully, we'll see. It's a long-term buy. So.
Yep.
Well, I've made my bed.
Find your areas. That's what I was saying. You just got to stick to it. Those traders that want to invest and they're just sitting there staring at it all the time. Like, no, just find your level, stick to it, have your stop loss, and then move. It's just any other trade. Yeah. So,
yeah. And just, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's the other thing too, because that'll tell me something for the rest of my port. Because this is another bellwether here. And if we are expecting chips to continue to show relative strength, then any reason to sell that it isn't that bad. Yeah. It's just kind of like a data event, and it's like, okay, not amazing, not stellar. We had really high expectations, so there will be sellers. That's often a really good time to be building positions in these names with overall higher potential on a higher time frame, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, pick the spot, stick with the plan. Often, as Kevin said, I think last time he was on, so often the worst trades or the best trades feel the worst.
Yeah.
When you're just getting cooked, because everybody's getting cooked on a market-wide level, and you're getting in close to the bottom, but it can be rough. It can feel rough. So I like this chart on a high time frame. You can see the level we're trading at. This little spread right here. I like it more here. So I'd like to see consolidation in the next month or two, and then big breakout.
I mean, I go back to even like AMD, which I ended up being unfortunately a little chicken. But last November, this is crazy how long this has been ago. I say last November before last. So November, I was somewhere, I'd say September, October, November, I was telling traders like, hey, AMD, NVDA, if you want long-term investment, somewhere right around 90, somewhere right around 80. I doubt we get a little bit lower than that. Well, what do we get in April at the tariffs? We go straight to it. And so I'm like, my heart's like, and I got filled, and I'm like, do. And I'm like, okay, I don't like that investment. I don't want to have that any trader. I'm like, is this going to be the low? And then, and so I got out of it once I got a little bit of profit, but that's when I go back and go, I cannot believe I didn't hold on to that, because I had a trader. I had one of my guys actually stick in, and he had like an $80 average and held it all the way. I think he still may have some shares, but yeah, I was like,
it's tough. Well, Josh, the other thing is like you're running and gunning here. You're firing off trades every single day. It's so hard to watch a pot boil. When you have so many things going. And even if I do this a lot, where like, if it's not in an account that I'm not looking at, I'm going to sell it before I should, almost always. So I got to separate my accounts. Like the ON, I was fumbling there because I had to open up an account. I had to like re-sign in and do the password check and stuff, because I don't go in there very much.
Yeah.
Because, that's the no touching zone. That's That's for the long-term stuff that I like. When I place the order, I also place the sell order, the first trim order, and then I'll just get a notification in like a month, like, oh, you just made a couple $100. Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
cool. Time to buy some more dumb stuff.
Yeah, right.
Not dumb stuff. A little, you make some money, you put some more risk on.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And for after hours runner, I've mentioned that in the chat. If anyone's paying attention for small caps, we only have one a day so far. I'm checking the scanners here on Trade Ideas, and ABP is the only one that I see in after hours so far for running. Is ABP is the only one really so far. Nice little 60% spiky here in after hours from 160 to 260. So not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. But other than that, that's about it for small caps and after hours so far.
What in tarnation is this phantom trend line that I just had on my chart that it somehow surged up to? Am I
Yeah,
the
right.
prophet? I don't recall ever looking at this chart. Oh, this is the rising VWAP. That's so funny. It's just literally straight. What's happening here? All right,
Whoa, straight to it.
straight to it. Ding dong. There's the 250, and you know these small caps. They like these round numbers. They love
That
them.
they do. They are in love with them.
So we also have that falling 21 day there. You can see the head bonk that started the big sell off, head bonk here that led to the continuation. So are we getting another head bonk and continuation back down, mean reverting back to that $2 level, which I think would be healthy even if this is the bottom, which it very well could be with this kind of volume.
Yeah.
So yeah, running a little hot on this RSI, but that's never stopped me before.
Yeah. I like that head bonk.
Yeah, just a little bonk,
Whack-a-mole, baby. Whack-a-mole.
I like whack-a-mole. That's good. I'm gonna add that head bonk. You got the bloody noses,
Yeah.
it happens, you take a header sometimes.
Yeah.
I, I need to watch more. Like, I wish there was, I mean, there is good content. I wish I had more time to just watch people broadcast trading. Cause like Josh, I'm sure you grew up obviously in your household, listening to a lot of sports broadcasts, but a lot of broadcasts in general. And just
Right.
like, it's so fun. Just like the kind of internal, like, jargon, I guess,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, I got to build up my broadcasting terminology here for fun trading. I grew up in San Francisco in the early 2000s. I'm a 90s kid, so just the broadcasting team there, Dwayne Kuiper, Mike Krukow, just always in my head. They had so many great sayings. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's funny, especially in that way, all the different ones. It depends on what, like you're saying, what field you're covering and the different, saying, or even especially sport. Different sports have like their different little sayings that you would have. So some you can use across the board, but yeah, it's kind of funny how you have your jargon, like your certain speaking verbiage that maybe I would say like stuff to Avery that I would talk about in the stock market or verbalize things, or she'd be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you have no idea what I mean. You're just like, no idea at all. Which I don't speak stocks. I don't talk to stocks her at all. I mean, ever. She doesn't ask about it. She knows.
is Avery your wife? I was thinking Kevin Avery.
Yeah, no, Avery. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, Avery's my wife, which is so funny. Yeah.
Surrounded by Avery.
He's Kevin Avery, right? That's his first and I know last name. I think his last name's Avery, I'm guessing. But
I'm sorry if I'm doxing you there.
you're good. No, what Avery's middle name is, so she's AK Avery Kristen,
Nice.
and then he's Kevin Avery. So it's funny when I started, streaming live with Kevin, I was like, your name's Kevin Avery? My wife's name is Avery Kristen.
Very synchronicitous. I've been reading some out there philosophy, and my brain's like firing off connections. Like, oh, I don't know what it means, but something.
Right.
It means something.
Yes.
When the market's too slow or when I'm not feeling it, because I haven't been feeling it the past couple of weeks. I took a lot of profit on good positions. I took new positions that got stopped out, and I'm sitting here with cash going, I don't know, man. Taking a couple stabs that aren't working yet, like Microsoft. Yeah. So I've been using my time elsewhere, I guess. And I think that there's something to be said for like, if the market, in the same way that you take what the market gives you, if the market isn't aligning with your strategy, or if you're just not feeling it, or you're just feeling like maybe you're plateauing in your trading skills in general, sometimes we got to remember that progress isn't linear, and it's not even taking a step. Sometimes taking a step back isn't actually taking a step back. It can just be reassessing, regrouping, and often a lot of things can kind of connect when you let the water settle, so to speak. So that's where I'm at in my little journey here. And then next week I'll be back to being a small cap psycho like you. So
hey, I love it. Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like we've talked about before on this. I know it was one of the earnings we've done was just the ample amount of opportunities there are to make money in the stock market, just in equities alone, right? And of course futures, options, whatever. But just say equities, man. There's just from small cap to mid cap every day because I talk about this so often where people they feel like they're missing something and they have to be trading all the time. And I missed another move. Oh, I should still be in. And they chase and then they lose. Whatever. And I'm like, you're missing stuff all the time. Like, you're missing crazy moves in the futures every day. I want you to know that you're missing hundreds of points move. You're missing thousands of dollars, that are that are potentially could be made, but thousands you can honestly still lose. And so I'm like, that's why I just kind of got past that whole, I missed the raw, I missed it, I can't believe. Because I remember like when I first got into stock trading 2015, started learning about stocks and the gurus that got you into it. And so I've got these jobs and I'm trying to get into trading and moving to now 2016. And one of the most unfortunate, I say fortunate, I just needed a side job in certain hours. And I was going to be like a delivery driver. Like I was like, okay, cool, I'll be a delivery driver. There's like a lot of jobs. That was when I was in Dallas. There's a lot of like delivery, obviously, jobs. And the first one that came a call, and I wish I wouldn't have taken, but I did. It was a delivery driver for a Rent-A-Center, and boy, the stuff you had to deliver, and then especially the stuff you had to go pick up. So imagine being that job. And I remember one day, like following, one of the free chat rooms that I'd follow or whatever. I say it was a free whatever it was, and just them talking about a stock, and it was a small cap runner, and it was going from like like how it was in 2016, like every year for the most part, every year in the small cap sector. Especially in 2016, 2017, we talk about the shipper plays, but they were going bonkers, especially into 2020. I mean, they were about like now. They were hot more consistently, like we've seen over the past few months.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing one of those plays that was going bananas, and here I am, like sitting in. Anyway, I just remember wherever it's at, and just watching this play go crazy on my phone, and I'm just like, oh my, I can't. But I had that feeling back then. And I'm like, I'm missing out on all this stuff, and then. Of course, because I wasn't actually trading and getting used to that. And then finally, whenever it did hit me, and I don't know exactly when it was, but I was like, man, Josh, you're missing plays all the time. You gotta have to stop that whole, I missed another one and all that one. I should still be like, listen, there's gonna be plays all day, every day. It's just getting a piece of the pie, getting a piece of the pie, getting a piece of the pie.
Dude, that is the name of the game. I always think about it like, for some reason, I think I got stoned one day and I just had this like visualization. It's like, it always stuck with me, this metaphor of like, it's kind of like there's a mall and there's a bunch of escalators, and some of them they're just going up. Some of them they're just going down. Then there's a lot of ones that are broken and they just keep like getting stuck halfway, going back down, stuck halfway. Your whole goal is to just get somewhere as often as possible. There's always money moving from one area of the market to the other.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you'll always miss the best trade of the day. Just about every single day, there will be something that moved better, that you could have used your money better. Yeah. Getting that out of your head allows so much room for you to look for that next spot and just find that escalator that's just moving. It doesn't have to be moving super fast. It doesn't have to be moving anywhere crazy, but you know where it's going, and you're hitching a ride. You're extracting easy money, so repeatable money from the market. You're treating it like an ATM, and that's how you get out of that FOMO mindset, because it's like, you don't realize, and sorry, I'm going to go on my Tony Robbins kick here. Not actually Tony Robbins, but it's like, you don't realize how much good things you're missing out on, how many opportunities are passing you by just because you're spending time thinking about the past, ruminating, just not being in the zone, So just maintaining that positive mindset in any way you can, I think is really, really key. So no FOMO. There's always another shot.
Yep. Ride, hitching a ride. And that's what, you got to think about that. And then, it's just, and then what I like about it, because when you finally do get that home run, like point being, go back to my TCGL, where you finally do get that euphoric, oh my God, you got the move of the day and you got almost all of it, with TCGL and all, and then I was on the live stream with, here with Kevin Avery that Thursday. So how, just the emotions that I did feel when you finally did get that move, because you just take base hits and you're just happy with that. So finally, when you do get that, holy moly, back to 2016, I'm working for Rent-A-Center and watching this play go $100 in parabolic, and I can't be a part of it. Now I'm a part of 100 points of it, like in pretty much the whole move until after hours, which it then went crazy, or even more crazy in after hours. But which that play went to 450, 420, whatever it went to in after hours. Yeah. It started 10 and go to like 450 at the end of the day. But I get the 17 to 120, where my exit. So you think about that, and you're like, finally, you got in market almost 100% of that 1,000 point or whatever the however much you moved in there. You got pretty much 90+% of that. You got the whole pie. You saw the reaction, me jumping out of the seat, me and Kevin.
It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty, and that's the dessert you get for being a good boy and finishing your play. Doing all the right things, taking the base hits. And then you get the cherry on top every once in a while. And that really, those are the days that you celebrate. And it always makes me feel like a caveman or something coming back with a big hunt or something, a big kill.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to eat, we party by the fire, and then you reset and you do it all over again.
Oh, we're Vikings and we won the battle. We get to eat good tonight, and the ladies will like us. Usually we stink and they hate us. Well, we still stink, but tonight they will like us.
Exactly. So we joke, but like really celebrating the wins and just shifting the focus on the positive. Like these are my accomplishments. Yeah, I took losses. That's part of the game. I think because you have to have an ego to do this, but you also have to be humble. It puts us in these really I think it's good for our development as people, but it's very tough, to accept like, all right, I have to be wrong very frequently. And that's not an indictment on my character. It doesn't mean I'm bad at my job. It's really just about maintaining. It's really more about bankroll management. It's more about mindset management, that mental capital.
Yep. Big time. And of course, those out there real quickly, so I don't forget to the very end. But yes, Ingrid, Aussie chick, Joe, money, Florida Joe out there. We got D Wester. What's up? How you doing, buddy? Tack as usual. Mr. Soller, Sellers in chat. Anyone else out there? The Wallflowers. Everyone else are on the different platforms, whether on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're following, or I should say watching us right now. Hope you guys are having a good day. Made some green money. Not there's always tomorrow. Don't be. A lot of people get really frustrated or maybe ashamed that they had a red day. It happens to all of us. You learn from it, go back and journal and track. And what did you do today? And why was it wrong? What could you have done better? And then focus on the next day and what you can look forward to tomorrow and where your edge and your sword's sharp at. Go find that tomorrow and attack with that sharp blade in an area that you have an advantage, as I always call it, in the stock market. Patience and discipline keep the profit chasing. So, yeah, for sure. I would say the three biggest things are patience and discipline. So if you can build the discipline at first, you can build patience. If you build discipline and then you get the patience, you'll finally build your confidence up. And those are the three main, I think, emotions or factors that you go through that you just don't have at first when it comes to the stock market. Hardly anyone has discipline. So if you don't have the discipline, you're not going to have any patience. If you don't have any patience, you're definitely not going to ever build any confidence. So you don't know what you're doing and you can't trade successfully. So learn to build discipline, and with the discipline builds patience. And with that, you get the confidence. And that, my friend, is the key to stock trading, having the confidence.
Love that. Bada bing, bada boom.
All right. Bob on the head, baby, with that. I love it. Whack-a-mole.
The head bonk.
The head bonk, yeah.
The bing bong.
Love it. That's a good one. Now, that was one of my fun. That was a fun one. That was fun going back. And of course, I'm originally with Showbiz, and then it turned to Chuck E. Cheese. That was fun for me as a kid. I love that. That was the whack-a-mole. Even I remember as a kid, now you'd go back and go, that's kind of gross. But getting in with the ball, like the pit of balls, how that was fun as a kid. And you're all jumping around in all these dang balls and the netted area. So those are some good days. So please tell me you visited a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, of course. I have some great memories. So okay, so I did the Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, of course. Yeah. In high school, my best friend's dad actually was the pizza chef for a Chuck E. Cheese.
No way.
We had an infinite supply of Chuck E. Cheese pizza. And
haven't had it forever. It hasn't gone in forever. But in the late 80s, of course, it was Showbiz then. But when that was good pizza. I mean, you go back and look at those commercials back in the day, the way they'd advertise it. I mean, they were like making it look like some gourmet pizza you're getting at Showbiz.
It was better than Domino's. It was good. Yeah, he was a good cook. So yeah, that's got a good place in my heart. So Josh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was like, all right, I got a business proposition. Adult Chuck E. Cheeses. You can call it like something fancy, like, I don't know, Charles E. Cheese.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but then I realized that's just Dave and Buster's, I think. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, so there's different versions of Top Golf. There's Top Golf, which is there's the most famous one, but there's another one just like it that's based out of Kansas City. I forgot what they're called, but yeah, there's different putt-putts out there, different bowling alleys. They're just saying, listen, you just go to Dave and Buster. You do what CVS and Walgreens do to each other. You go right across the street from every Dave and Buster's and you open a Charles E. Cheese. You hear me?
There you go. I'll be like that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. I'll just open up a coffee shop right across.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yes.
I'm all for malicious. I don't know. Malicious entrepreneurship. No, that can go bad.
And then you go in, and then what your job is every night as the owner of Charles E. Cheese, you're going into you go into Dave and Buster's every night and you be like, oh, I think I'm sick. There's something in the food here. And every night you go in and you get everyone to leave. Like, man, let's go over to Charles E. Cheese's. They've got way better food.
To be clear, this is not financial advice.
Yeah. This is we're writing a Curb Your Enthusiasm essentially the episode right now.
I mean, to be fair, it does feel like we're kind of living in one big Curb episode. So,
Yes, yes,
it
yes.
is what it is. You work with what you got. You laugh
Yeah,
where you
and
cry.
I've always wanted to write, no lie, I wanted to write a movie as much as I've just seen in my life and gone through, and then alone, just those type of things that I thought about, like that stuff. That would be just a great episode, whether I did a TV show or did like like a Curb Your Enthusiasm type of show. That was kind of a show about nothing, but it's a show about stuff like it is about stuff that you think about what what humans go through and where they question stuff, or that would be a hilarious episode.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm just going through some of the smaller earnings plays too. They're not going to move the market, but just worth mentioning. Upwork is down big, so the name was not prophetic. So this one's down $4 on a $20 stock, $19 stock. So almost a 25% haircut there. Sorry, Upwork bulls, but it seems like the pain is still in for all of these kind of. What would you consider Upwork? What sector subsector would you put them in?
What's that? Upward?
Yeah, is that, I guess that's like software as a service or like
Yeah.
something without a moat. That's for sure. Not a big one. We have Goodyear tires.
Oh man, that now. Hey, those are some good tires now. Goodyears are great. You got you an SUV. Those are some good tires. How I always forget about how they have a lot of these companies that that have tickers or stocks. I had no, like, even Playboy
Right.
back when I first heard they have, like, what, they have a stock, like they went
Yeah.
with us. Yeah. So
It's funny because it's like boring ones like Goodyear tires. Like, come on, nobody's that excited about tires. Like,
yeah.
Playboy's a little more exciting, but I guess not from a business perspective.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So this one, I like this look because on the high time frame, we are breaking multiple downtrends here, or at least testing it. A
Yeah.
little bit of a look back here, so I don't think it's ready to go, but one to keep on the lookout for a longer time frame. Kind of move. Just like I like having these. They're boring as heck. I'm not going to get much love on the day trading forums for these names, but like the Dow chemicals and stuff.
Hmm.
Like, oh man, yeah, I did. This is in the long term port that I don't look at. I just said, hey guys, hold your nose, buy some at 24. I think I said, just thank me later in a year or two. It'll be higher. It'll bore you to death. It's a chemical company, but these catching these secular bottoms can be really really profitable, and
Real- I was
it's
gonna say
boring.
before we move on from Upwork, because I just like looking this stuff up sometimes, and you're right. It's essentially tech, software development, facilitating communication, project management, money, payment processing. Guess where they're headquartered, my friend?
I don't know where they're headquartered.
Where do you live at?
Oh, good old San Francisco, sunny San.
Nah.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
it.
I'll go pay him a visit. I'll do some ops,
Literally.
see what's going on. Some OSINT. Yeah, I don't know. It's always weird being in like this tech hub because I don't really think about. I mean, I'm by the beach, so I'm not down
Right.
in like Silicon Valley or anything, or even downtown. But it is weird. I was actually at Salesforce Tower 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they have a little park there. I was walking around downtown with my girlfriend and just checking the vibes out, and it was cool. It was cool. It was just this weird, like you walk downtown and it's like just very run down, and then you go up this elevator and there's this elevated whole park. It's like the secret area, this lair around this massive tower. Is I don't know, I kind of got like Lord of the Rings vibes from the tower,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was just interesting seeing what they were doing to keep their workforce there. Essentially, they'd have all this in-house food and stuff there. It was just funny to me, like, oh yeah, they're like, it's like a millennial mousetrap. They had like craft beer and they were playing like
Wow.
2000. They were playing like Blink 182, and I was like, hell yeah! But
This is not-
very
you
clear who's
That's when
working
you
there.
said this when you said Lord of the Rings. You didn't see Sauron up there, did you? You're like, oh no.
Yeah, what's his name? Benioff. He's
Yeah.
looking
Right.
at the binoculars, like, where's my money? It's not in my stock holding, that's for sure. Let's look at
Oh man.
CRM. So that's the thing. Like, everybody I know who uses CRM professionally kind of hates them. So like, I don't know. Maybe that's just
Lay down.
people I know, but like, I kind of like I kind of see this as nature's healing from like the silliest parts of the tech bubble, where it's like, fine, Microsoft should be a lot higher, Apple should be a lot higher. Should CRM have ever traded at 350? I don't think so. Should like Adobe ever have traded at 680? I don't know. The Adobe looks freaking terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
Man, M4, move out the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, you look at some of these tickers, and especially the time that they got up to that. So 600, I didn't even realize Adobe got to 600. I mean, it's just like Chipotle before they price split. What did they get up to?
Oh, that was insane. The multiples on those. It's like, what are they doing? Are the tech burritos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you eat burritos and you will be smartest man alive.
What is it? CMG? I always forget. Yeah, CMG. Yeah, like what in tarnation? I remember, yeah, the multiples on these were insane. It's like they were projecting growth. It's like they were in every city. And it's like they're projecting like twice as many stores or
Yeah,
something. It's like, where are you gonna go? Burrito
yeah,
saturation, brother.
yeah,
So what was the other one? You had Kava, the other crazy high flyer.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, insane. I think Kava was the one I was thinking that was even more egregious. It's like, where are you gonna go? This is not. Well, I
I
was
mean,
gonna say it's not Snowflake, but I
yeah,
guess
and
it is.
and you've just seen that. I mean, back to we've mentioned with semiconductors and SMCI, we've just seen a lot of that over the last 2 years. It seemed like in 2024 was a year of how are you up that high?
Yeah, yeah. It is egregious. And I mean egregious to those of us who have been around and like understand valuations a little bit, but also the thing is egregious, but is it? Cuz like, this is also I don't want to say subjective, but it's like, we are in the industry of selling pieces of paper to the next guy higher than we bought it for, and to people who think it's going higher. It's all so speculative. And like even like metrics that have a long history of like EPS, for example, it feels like it's becoming less and less relevant as things become more and more hyper financialized. So I think that, I mean, isn't this just kind of a feature, right? Something comes out and it draws liquidity and it goes insanely higher than it should, and then it goes insanely lower than it should, and there's a lot of opportunity in that volatility. I think that's kind of the whole name of the game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we're gonna see. I don't think we'll ever see him. Well, I mean, I get it. Adobe with all the subscriptions, day party. Yeah, I get that. But it's just kind of like where you think Microsoft and what they have done. Why aren't they then? If that gets up to
Yeah,
six, why aren't they Microsoft at 1,000? And so
that's what I'm
see,
saying. And it's like I think this is all explained best through the lens of liquidity and market dynamics, supply and demand dynamics, as opposed to aspects of fundamentals, because fundamentals, while they provide sharp influxes of liquidity at times, they are not actually what's driving the market. What's actually driving the market is that liquidity. It's those actual buyers on the tape, or sellers. So for me, I try not to get too hung up in like, why is Microsoft getting punished so much? Well, maybe it's just because the baskets of everything with software is getting sold so egregiously that, fund holders, they're like, well, we need to get rid of more software. Okay, fine, sell Microsoft, I guess. We got to buy more chips. Got to buy more Micron, basically.
you're right.
So that's often, you'll need to see an inflection point, whether it is, I mean, that's the thing. Maybe the inflection point is the washout after earnings, because Microsoft's earnings were not bad in my book. I mean, I'm not an expert, but they missed very minorly on Azure, and it was a 41% expectation of the beat. So like, it's still a good company, guys. It's still a good company. I think you got to look for the babies that are getting thrown out in the bathwater in these sector wipeouts. So I think Microsoft's. I don't know much about the space, and it's such a boring one for me. Like it's like I want cool tech. I want like I like space, and I like
I was gonna say yes, but yeah, there you go. That's
yeah,
that.
yeah. I want to invest in space and semiconductors and AI stuff. I don't want to invest in like stuff that I can build with the cool tech that I'm seeing play out in front of my eyes. So software is not appealing to me, but that does lead to opportunities. So what are you looking at besides Mike? Is there anything on your list for software for actual long-term buys?
No,
No?
yeah,
Okay.
no. I mean, I've just the one I of course love though. To me, it's like in there. It's fine. When I think of investing, I'm going okay. I go back to like me as a kid in high school, or even like 10, 15 years ago in college or whatever. Going, why didn't I invest in all these companies have just gone up over time? Sure, they've had pullbacks, sure, they've had sideways consolidation, but what do they do eventually? As we've seen, they continue to hit new highs. Essentially, we'll just say this every 3 to 5 years or so. And I think that's going to be across the board. When I noticed that in 2022, I stayed away from the tech companies at the time, but it's almost a no-brainer. Apple, AMD, NVDA, Microsoft,
Yeah.
Tesla. A lot of these companies are going to have move. Some are volatile than others, and that. But to me, over time, we're going to go back. I'm sure they'll price split again, but Tesla it's going to go up over time. We'll see it at five, so whatever, 700, 8, whatever, and then they'll do another price split. I think any name too. I forgot who said this the other day. when you think about, I may have been TAC, maybe it was Crow, that was someone that's always on the live stream that said when they invest in the companies, think about something that they use. I know someone said that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I'm like, I want to invest into something that I know I use. I know it's going to go up. It's a great company. It's quality. It's never going to go down over time. There's not going to be a new Microsoft. We're not going to have another Apple come out. I mean, I'd very highly doubt it. We're so set in stone as we are. We've almost, to me, regressed as humans. Now we're so, I want Apple. I need Samsung phone.
Yeah,
We're not going
there was a great tweet that was like, it's 2027. We are now all unemployed, hanging out in Discord chats, day trading the same 7 mega cap stocks as the government takes turns pumping each one so we don't riot. It's like kind of feels like where we were at for a while at least.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like it's felt punishing. It's felt punishing to be a individual stock investor in the past 6 months, for me at least, in the things I'm looking at. For individual stock trader, great returns, but you got to be so nimble. You can't be investing just like in these themes unless you're taking profit and trading very actively. Like there's so many 30% pullbacks in my space names that it's driving me insane. So it's tough. It's tough. But I love what you're saying about investing in what you know. That's like Peter Lynch style, right?
Right.
So I love that. And that's how all the best traders I know have made the most of their money, at least to start off with, when like you don't maybe know all the intricacies of market dynamics, but you know what you know. Like my dad knew very little about trading, but what he did know for his job was global supply chains. So when oil crashed after like I guess it was after the GFC, whenever it was like 30 a barrel, like he just like full ported just because like that's what he knew and nothing else looked nearly as good. And everybody was saying like, oh, it's time to buy something.
Right.
So just you don't have to be perfect. I'm sure there were better trades than oil at 30, but that was a damn good trade. And so just sticking with what you know is a lot better than trying to be too cute with sectors that like you gotta know a little bit about them if you're gonna actually invest in them. If you're gonna
Yeah.
trade in them and be out within a day, I totally understand. It's a lot of brain power to learn about this stuff. But if you want to invest, it's also just really cool, I think, to learn about different sectors and how they kind of fit together because it's just one big old complex machine, big old puzzle to figure out. We really do have the best job, don't we, Josh? It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'll always say, because I love going fast. There's only one job I'd rather do than this. That'd be an F1 driver, because I'd be getting paid millions to drive $1 million vehicle going 150, 200 miles an hour and hitting sharp turns at 100. Boy, oh boy, oh. I love you, stock market. But if someone wanted to pay me and I was that good to be an F1 driver, that's the only job. But other than that, yes, I love this for
No
sure.
shock that you gravitate to small caps, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
You got a need for speed.
Yes,
I'm in.
yes.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Joe
Like,
calling out AGMB. Joe's man in the scanners.
yeah, I saw that.
Trade the pool scanners here. So big push up. We got a move from 1650 all the way, spiking to $40 before crashing back into the golden pocket, trying to maintain those moving averages on the 1 minute. So look for stabilization here under 25, under 25. 25 to 2250 is going to be your loading up zone. I would stop out under 2085, 2075, let's call it that swing low. But definitely risky here. I don't know what the news is, but this is the make or break point in this golden pocket. Do you just is this just pump and dump for you, no touching, even if it kind of holds here?
Yeah, it says closing of initial public offering, so that does have news that did come out with that. And when I see that, yeah, and that spread that big in after hours, it has to be a more of like I say parabolic, but more of a breakout, like a strong bull flag, over squeezing. It's been running all day too. It had news in pre-market. It ran, and BNAI was one of the last ones it did. That was Friday before last, and that was that it ran in after hours from like 20 to around 60 or 70, but it was like one bull flag into 23, and then another one popped up into like 30, and it just kind of kept.
Sorry to interrupt. What ticker is that so I can pull it up?
BNAI.
Oh, that one's crazy.
Yeah, BNAI from a couple of Fridays ago. So you can go back to a couple of Fridays ago. You can see how that went bananas in after hours.
Wow.
But it was already running that day. So when it's already running that day, it gives you reason to go, oh, well, this could go for more for a reason. And
okay.
the spread wasn't that bad on BNAI. So yeah, it's already running. I'm looking at it. Yeah, this could go versus what the heck did just happen?
Yeah, exactly. So there's that more anticipation, that buildup of momentum. So even with this big candle, you're seeing this as the start of the party, the start of the move, because it's broken the range. It's shown a big move, a big impulse move. Okay. Whereas this one here, would you consider this more of the finishing of a move, the kind of crescendo? Okay, excellent. And I think we are starting to see this play out. Yeah. So great read there. And this is why I'm in your dojo when it comes to small caps, Because for me, I'm so technical minded that I gotta beat it out of my brain that in the same way that fundamentals can get thrown out the window if the technicals aren't there, if the volume isn't there. Technicals can get thrown out the window if well, sure, maybe this is a volume shelf, but if it's so small that a big seller can move through it, cut through it like butter anyway, it doesn't matter. That's just going to trap people. And even more likely, the market makers on these things know this kind of stuff, and to hose you because you're like, oh, that's a bull flag. And it's a great there's a great ICT lecture. I'm not a huge ICT fan, but of the guy himself, but like he puts out a lot of good stuff. And one that really stuck with me was his like false flag seminar, which is basically just going in like how you can discern a fake bull flag from a real one. And off like the real crux of it, I'll save you the the admission there, is that you gotta have the higher time frame context. And if the higher time frame context looks like sketchy and you have a lower time frame bullish pattern nestled in there, often that can be a little fake move to lure bulls in to really just wick up into the the area where the seller's trying to really hammer it, so they can trap those bulls there. And the context is what matters, because often the best entries are when they do that on the other side, right? When you wash out and then reclaim. And that's the bread and butter fake breakdown setup that I always revert to. That's my number one setup. And that's why I like ON at 60, because it lost 60 and reclaimed. Sure, that's a very short time frame, but it's a key level, and I like those looks below and then reclaims.
Right. Yeah, back to just real touch up on that when you were talking about the finding long-term investment plays too. Like you pretty much were touching on it, but how you were wording it, I was like, yeah, I would just sum up what you're saying. A little bit of that tail end was I didn't want to be a CFO of a company. I didn't want to have to dive into all the technical an analysis of what the company and the earnings and how much they owe and how much did they earn and what are the blah blah blah. I was like, oh, this is because you can do that for small caps too. When they come out with their reports, I saw that back in the day, traders doing that. It just wasn't me. I was just more of a technical analysis of the chart and read that and learned to study that the most, because that's where I was as a trader. And that's what helped me become a super successful trader. And I say super successful, but successful. I say super successful because I see how many people fail at this. So be doing this in, there has been some success there, but I just realized it about myself. Like, that's just not me, Josh. That's not you as a trader. I've said this all the time. How many, we know sports, I always love talking about it, but even drivers or food eaters and what, the competitions are going into, they do different things and they're better at some things. Like Joey Chestnut is no one that we'll just go to him. He kills it at hot dogs and maybe kills it at this and that. But there's another guy that's the best lasagna eater in the world or the best pizza eater, as in, what I'm saying, which is kind of funny to say that. But you know what I'm, so they're good at maybe some things, but they're really good at these other things. And so that's where you want to find that edge. And that's where I found myself going, Josh, these little sectors, these little areas, you're not that good at that. So let's leave that alone. How about you find what you're good at these areas and let's get them even better. And that's what I've managed to do early on. And so it was just key for me. Like, I didn't want to be a CFO of a company or whatever and have to dive into all the financials and this, that, and the other. So it just, because in that too, like you were saying, clears your brain out a little bit so you can just trade the chart versus all that extra homework you have to do. Because we've seen this in the past. If you want to just go straight to that and financial analysis, oh, the earnings are terrible, but, or like we just saw, like with, I think the last two, because we did Meta, and I think one of your guys tweeted that the day we did the Meta earnings. Last earnings were good, it went down. This earnings good again, it flies up, and so earnings could be good, it goes down. Earnings could be good, it goes up. Earnings could be bad, it goes down. Earnings could be bad, it goes up. And so
that context matters so much, doesn't it? Like just the overall weight and positioning of the market, and that I feel like is the real level up that a lot of traders need to make. Where it's that again, I think you're just nailing it with, like, if you want to dive into the fundamentals, there's a lot of good information to be learned, but you can aggregate all of the fundamental traders analysis by seeing what professional traders, what large volume is doing on the chart, because you better believe they're doing their homework, So in terms of like the 80-20 rule, like, 80% results for 20% effort, definitely. That's why I think technical analysis is working smarter and not harder. I see how hard these fundamentals guys work building their models. And then, sometimes they get so flummoxed because they've put so much time and effort into this thesis, which is correct, but the market isn't ready to see it yet, So you can almost be too smart sometimes, and you can get, scared off of your own really good ideas because you can't sit in the pocket and wait for that technical washout before your great fundamental idea aligns with the great technical setup.
Yep.
So I'm right there with you, brother.
Did I hear a door open there?
Oh, sorry. This is a good mic. Yeah, that's my cat paying a visit.
I know that sound because I know that same sound because a dog or a cat, will creep open my door and you'll hear that little.
We got a creeper. We got a creeper.
I love
If
it.
she wants to go outside, she's gonna be squirmy. Yeah, this is Cleo. There you go. Say hi.
Leo,
Oh,
love it.
the airplane ears. You're not happy. She's not happy, but she's still happy enough to want to curl up on my shoulder like a parrot.
Yeah.
Oh boy, animals. Gotta love them.
Oh yeah, especially the cats. Like, when you get up to like, Dad, let me perch right here. This is where I want to get.
So I guess we're approaching the end of our hour here, Josh.
Yeah, yeah.
When are you gonna join us again?
Thursday with you, my man. So y'all be Thursday this week. So we're rearranging the schedule this week. So yeah, Joe tomorrow, Kevin this week on Wednesday, and then I'll be back on Thursday with you again, my man. Of course, then you can join me tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow. I'm live Tuesday and Thursday here on Trade the Pool. So join me and Kevin tomorrow, of course, with Money Mitch and Nas. We'll be here tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday's the call-in show. Thursday I'll be here in the afternoon. So a lot of Thursday action for myself. Nice. As I'll be going live, of course, in the morning, the call-in show, and then with you. And, of course, every Monday through Thursday, Power Hour with Steve. And, of course, then we have Friday where you do a little after-hour lesson, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to be doing a webinar on, what is it on this week? That's a great question. I will know by today, but it's going to be a good one. We've been having really nice turnouts and I think getting some really good stuff out there. So, definitely tune in. I love that you're holding down the Thursday. I'm holding down the Wednesday. I've got the morning spot there with Michael Noss and Big Money Mitch. And then I love these after hours shows. So I hope we keep doing them because I love.
They fly by too. It's crazy.
Yeah. I get to hang out with all of you guys. Sometimes it's like we're in different lunch periods at school. You guys hanging out over there. I'm like, man, that looks fun. So,
like I remember that. I remember that in high school. There was 2 different lunches, 2 or 3, whatever, and you'd be like, man, I got the crap lunch. All my friends are on that. Yeah, I remember that.
Joe's over here like, what am I, chopped liver? No,
exactly.
We're the dream team. We're the glue.
Love it. And then everyone in chat from Tyler, Day Party Experience, Joe, of course, as always, and thanks for the link out there, Joe. Yas, Tack, always joining Aussie Chick. Everyone that joined today, thank you all for joining. It was a great after-hour show. Come back tomorrow, of course. We'll have all day long from pre-market with the scanners, live show in the morning, or Power Hour with Steve, after hours with Steve and Joe tomorrow for earnings. And we got you covered. And I know that's what we talked about last year, and I love that we've done that into this year, is expanding this stream to where we're here, or our live streams up all day long, and you're getting a lot more commentary. And I think that's only going to slowly expand even more to maybe even Fridays. We talked about that. So I know Gil and we've, so hopefully we'll get a Friday stream going. Looks like me and Kevin, maybe Steve, if you want to join us on Fridays too as well, we'll figure something out.
Definitely.
Get a Friday stream going. Love
awesome. It. Yeah. Trade the Pool. It's our year, baby. We are coming for your YouTube views, and we are coming for that alpha.
The X views. Yeah, exactly. The X views, your Instagram, your Facebook. You better watch out because we're coming for you. It's like, now going back to all our good movie references, it's like old school when we're in the we're in that van and we got our mask on. We're coming and just kidnapping you and being part of the cream. We're coming to get you.
Oh yeah, you're my boy, Blue. All right, baby. So we got a lot in tune for you guys coming up, so don't miss out. Like we said, Big Money Mitch and Michael next up in the morning here. We're gonna wind down here for today, but lots in tune. Thanks so much for joining, Josh, and we will see you on the flip side. Take care, everybody.